Our first guest is one of the all-time greats. You know him from Caddyshack, Easy Money, and Back to School. His new book, a bestseller, is a collection of sad and hilarious stories about his life. It's called It's Not Easy Being Me. Please say hello to the one and only Rodney Dangerfield. Well, it's great to have you. It really is. And great
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
I read your book.
Let's look for furniture.
I read your book last week. I was on vacation. It's very, very funny, very sad also, and it's a miracle that you're alive here with us tonight. It really is. You went through a lot of stuff medical-wise and of course emotionally went through a lot of stuff, but you really kind of like, you quit smoking and you're eating better now. You used to eat cake and pies and crap and stuff like that.
I got in trouble eating some of that crap sometimes, too.
Yeah, I guess so.
And one night I came home and when I was starving, you know, and right at the kitchen table was a big German chocolate cake, you know, and
nice.
All of a sudden it hit me. I know what I'll do. I'll get high, start eating cake. I'll start eating cake and I'll drink skim milk, you know? So I finished, I sat back and I ate about half the cake, you know? Then I sit back and I'm looking and I notice the chocolate is moving. What the heck is this, you know? But I found out that the chocolate was not chocolate. There was an army of red ants down there.
Oh, no.
And the bottom of the cake was this thick with red ants all over the place. And I know it didn't just stop there. It was over where I was, too. So I called the hospital and I told him I just ate an army of red ants. So he says to me to go out his waist. In fact, when my mother was pregnant with me, they told her the same thing, you know?
All right. So it's an army of red ants and you'd be unaffected. And how were they? Did you eat the rest of the cake?
I just had the red ants, I think.
You just had the red ants. That was probably a good choice. How many times were you on The Tonight Show, Johnny Carson hosting?
70.
70? Wow, that is unbelievable. And that was when, those were in the days when they didn't, those were the days when they didn't just give anyone a talk show. It was like a really big deal, and a lot of people, you were a huge star, and you were on Ed Sullivan many times.
Yeah.
You were on Dean Martin.
I had a funny experience with that, too,
Oh, really?
You know? I was always in the siding business, aluminum siding business for years, you know? And then I went back in the show business. And so I sold people an aluminum siding job, and that was it. I went home. That was on a Sunday. Monday, the woman goes over to talk to one of the mechanics. She says, "Is Mr. Roy also in show business?" And he says, "Yeah, he does that in the side."
That's your real name, right? That's Mr. Roy is your real name.
Jack Roy was my real name.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought I'd be much better off with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. You get eaten by a tiger with a name like Roy.
I know.
You know?
That's all right. So what happened?
You're selling aluminum siding and also...
And the woman says to him, "Is Mr. Roy also in show business?" He says, "Yeah, he does that in the side." She just saw me, I just sold her an aluminum siding job. And the next day, it's Sunday, her and her husband catch me on Ed Sullivan. So it was very weird. Anyway.
I guess so. And you were on the Dean Martin. He had a television show.
Yeah, I had an experience there at Dean Martin. I did 28 weeks with Dean, you know. And I wrote the 28 spots, and I would sit in a chair. He'd sit in a chair with a table, and we'd talk back and forth, and I would tell jokes, and he would laugh. He was there the first day I went out there to do the taping. He was there. Dean was there, and I didn't see him again the whole rest of the show. He came in at the very end and did his part, you know? And meanwhile, they put pictures of him in a chair, and there's no audience. I thought to myself, what kind of show business is this? I go ahead to do a show. I'm talking to an empty chair, and there's no audience. I mean, is that show business?
No, I didn't think so. So Dean would just make you do your part and then come in later and
he wasn't even there. That's right, sure.
That's why Jerry dumped him. You became a comic when you were a young man, and then you quit the business, and you came back to the business, and you had to work to get back in.
I quit when I was 28. And give you an idea how well I was doing at the time I quit. I was the only one who knew I quit.
But then you came back to show business.
I came back in show business, and for 12 years I was always writing jokes and keeping the jokes. And then I came back when I was 40 to show business, and
wow,
it was a tough job, I tell you that.
I guess so, yeah.
It worked out in the end, you know.
Yeah,
so
and did you, like, so when you were 40 years old, you get back into show business, and you always talk about not getting respect. And, you know, it's a shtick. It's shtick, of course. You know, everybody in comedy obviously has a lot of respect for you. But would you get, like, groupies and girls and that sort of thing as a 40-year-old comic starting on the road?
As a 4-year-old comic?
40. Well,
oh, 40. Okay, a 4-year-old comic.
4 would be incredible. Yeah.
You want to know if I got respect when I was
did girls come back to your hotel room? I mean, were you a swinging
Only if
kind
I
of
owed
guy?
them money, that's about it.
Tell us one Rodney Dangerfield sex story. Like, you meet a girl somewhere, and then what happens exactly?
Rodney Dangerfield story, nothing would happen. Now, I was a kid. I was 21 years old, and I was working in Asbury Park, New Jersey. They had a nightclub and a hotel there. I went over there, did the show, and the show was over, and I'm backstage, and all of a sudden I see a girl there, looks pretty good, and we looked at each other, and we both had the same thought, now.
Really?
So we went out, and we didn't know where to go, you know? So we decided to go on the beach. So we went on the beach, and we're having sex on the beach, you know? And all of a sudden, I met the nicest cop in the world, you know? I did. He waited till I was finished. And then he put a big flashlight right in my face, you know? I didn't know what to do. So I sang Mammy. I didn't do that.
That didn't work? You didn't do that. Unbelievable.
Anyway, then we decided we wanted to do it again. We had no place to do it. Because in my room there, I had an agent sleeping in one bed, and I was in the other bed. And she was in a room with her sister somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, we wanted to do it again.
Your agent is in the bed, in the room?
He was in the bed in the room, sleeping in another bed, and I was in the bed here. And we came into my bed then, right? And be quiet, don't talk, the whole thing, you know what I mean? And then she wanted me to use a rubber, and I told her I have no more rubbers. I used one I had on the beach, that was it, you know what I mean? So I got no more rubbers, you know what I mean? And we're talking there, we're cooking, getting louder and tooey. What are we gonna do? Forget about it. We were doing it, all of a sudden, from left field, the agent gets up, walks over to his pocket in the closet, takes out a rubber, walks over to me, hands it to me, and jumps right back in bed. You know?
That's a good agent. Rodney Dangerfield, that is his book right here. It's Not Easy Being Me. It's really entertaining, and I thank you so much for being here, Rodney.
My pleasure.
Rodney Dangerfield, everybody. Right back.